There's only two reasons on earth why we would be 7 minutes late for a show. One is Nez's dentist, and the other is Canada. That's it. That's it. That is. And I'll let you guess. I'll let you guess which one it was today. I had a nice cold open plan here. I'm gonna Nez, let's see it.
We're back. No, I'm just kidding.
That was good.
That's pretty good.
That was very good. Matt, I had a nice little cold open there that everybody is focusing on the wrong part of Bengals camp yesterday. Everybody's worried about Joe Burrow and what looked like it was going to be bad. It turns out to be a calf strain, hopefully, question mark. That's the initial reports. But the biggest news from Bengals camp yesterday was T. Higgins switching his jersey to number 5. Big news. Anytime a wide receiver goes single digit and or adds Roman numeral to the back of their name bar, I'm paying attention. I am absolutely paying attention.
Big shoes to fill. I think he was tired of living in the Ocho Cinco shadows and needed to shed the Ocho. Now we just got T. Higgins Cinco, baby. And yeah, I'll be honest, that made it move. That was, I mean, when you see a single digit on a wide receiver, that you have to adjust.
You absolutely have to. There's no other route there. Some big news out of your guys' camp there, Neumy. I'm hearing a whole lot about a Jalen Naylor.
Sure. Sure. I mean, yeah.
It's Michigan State.
One hype piece, and all of a sudden it's, hey, KJ Osborne is the worst pick ever, and we all knew it. Everyone's talking about how they knew it, but no one wanted to effing say it before the small little puff piece for Jalen Naylor. But yeah, I mean, that does not to me say I'm like pro KJ for his ADP, but yeah, I literally have muted so many things on Twitter. Like I'm done. I can't anymore, man. Like we're literally like 4 or 5 days into this, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, this guy literally might be wide receiver 2 over Addison. People are like, why did we draft Addison? It's like, oh, I've muted so much, but
you're just following the wrong people, man.
No, that was the best part when everyone's coming out and it's just like, oh yeah, we all knew KJ was the worst pick, but now we're gonna confirm our priors to the internet once we see this puff piece. So
Dylan, get ready for it, man. This is like the most starved off season I think like we've all been waiting for, just because I mean, like, as best ball continues to grow, we are all just like clamoring for something to move the damn market, because we've just been drafting the same landscape over and over.
Jalen Naylor's moving that market, baby. Let's go.
Oh, you know damn well he has been drafted more times today than he has like the entire offseason combined. Like,
absolutely.
You just
without
know.
a doubt. Without a doubt.
Couple things in the chat. I want to good people, the good people, to see us 7 minutes late. Hey,
way to show out for the boss.
Show out for the boss. That's good.
Oops.
Yeah, I saw Asset had a good one in the Big Fly yesterday. Second place there. Shouts there. GM, the puck is back. Yeah, we talked about it a little bit yesterday, but we will definitely be doing some puck content coming up. Pretty excited for that contest structure. 25K to first instead of 10. And that reminds me, the story that I got lost in yesterday when I was talking about the boys hanging out on the back porch, just talking ball and, just running down stats, and we were going around the horn guessing stats. We got into a heated debate about Connor Bedard's projection, and it turned into a couple big bets amongst the community there, as the line was set at 79.5 points in his rookie season. That's where I was going with that.
Okay. I'm not familiar with like the average points. Well, I know Bedard is the truth, right?
With anything,
I know Bedard is the truth, but I'm not familiar with like the average points that a player accumulates in the NHL. So
the reason that came the reason that came to fruition is because when we were doing the around the horn thing and we were looking back in like early 2000s and stuff like this, guys got point totals that were like barely over 80, 90, that sort of thing. And then last year, I think there were 7 or 9 players over 100. And,
wow.
yeah. So like the game has just changed and become very offensive dominated, and it's awesome to see. But yeah, so like if he finished like with 80 points, I think he'd be like in the 30s, like top 30 amongst players, something like that.
Oh,
So,
give me the higher on that.
yeah, so I don't know. We'll see, right? A lot of factors go into it, but it was just that's where that story was going that just fell off a cliff. Um,
You tried.
I tried my best. A couple of things we want to hit on before we jump BBM and that sort of stuff. It's just some camp news nuggets and whatever. Do with it what you may. We talked about the Burrow one off the start there. It looked ugly. And
Yeah.
thankfully it's just a calf strain, because that looked, I don't know. I watched that video like 10 times like everybody else did. That one looked weird, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It did.
Mhm.
It kind of looked like thankfully like a cramp / strain, that came up, but like your fingers were just crossed the whole time that it was like, please don't be an Achilles. Like, just please,
Yeah.
God, just do not be an Achilles. And thankfully it wasn't. And I don't know, it seems like it's business as usual in the underdog streets. His ADP isn't going anywhere, because where T Higgins and Jamar Chase are, like, those drafters are not letting him like out of the 5th.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm glad you brought that up, because that's what led me to the little stacking conversation that I wanted to have and thought stuff going into Chad's data and Chad's sheet here, and just looking at how much quarterbacks are actually being stacked in our actual sample that we're up to almost 400 now. 379. I know he's got a couple more to add there and stuff, but it was just kind of like, because I just thought about the way we build nowadays, right? And the way we build in terms of like stacking and over correlating, and Pete has a piece that's up on Fantasy Life today that he just put out this morning. And I suggest everybody goes and looks at this TJ Hernandez like R squared chart, just to see where like correlations and positive correlations actually lie in terms of like DFS. And then I have one that's similar to this that I've been using for years for DFS, but I think it's a really good illustration. So I just wanted to give that a shout off the top there as part of that article. But going back to just the overarching thesis and looking at how much we're stacking quarterbacks, because I would be very interested to see maybe like BBM1, like how the field has adjusted and how much we were actually stacking these quarterbacks, because my mind instantly goes to like Joe Burrow, right? This, like, if we had feared the worst yesterday, right? And injuries are out of our control and we can't have them as part of our process in terms of like how we're drafting. I'm just thinking like how many lineups are just like flat out dead because like we're stacking Burrow 77% of the time. And that's not even on like the high side, because other quarterbacks were in here in the higher 70s and into the mid 80s here. I just wanted to be like, yo, guys, have we given it any thought to just start running like some form of naked lineups just to embrace the pendulum of variance the other way? Or is that just like such malpractice and just like too gal brain and dumb, like just build smart lineups?
My gal brain, probably dumb thought was similar, where it was the statue quarterbacks are getting stacked because you have to stack a statue quarterback. You need pass catchers to bring it back. Whereas everyone just goes, I'm fine with naked Fields. I'm fine with potentially going Hurts and that. Well, flip it and just do, well, now if everyone's fine with naked Fields, and I don't know where Fields kind of shows up on this, I don't see him or anything like on this, but like Bryce, in general, just kind of flipping that, my thought process was like, how just doing that basically. So I'm going to now go out of my way to double stack or get the single stack and maybe a double stack of Fields.
That might not be the best idea, because
I'm just saying.
No. Just follow my line of thinking. Okay. That might not be the best idea, because this was shocking data that I saw when looking at this, that Justin Fields is actually the most highly stacked quarterback in our sample.
Yep. All right.
Well, counterintuitive. Which is completely counterintuitive, because my line of thinking would have been the exact same as yours, Neumy. Like I found that incredible too.
Shocker. Neumy didn't read the data before coming in here. So
no, I would have thought the exact same thing. Like I was blown away by seeing this, and I don't know. Maybe it's just a
I had
byproduct of the pieces being cheap or
I had
whatever.
the BR brain, and I know porting BR to best ball is something we can't really do, but maybe weekly winners and all that. But like the fact that you needed Chase, or like that those weeks where you would need Chase and you need that, but you wouldn't necessarily need Burrow to bring that back. You'd need a different piece, and just throwing it into that like concept. And I was thinking of that. I mean, obviously, I'm just we're all thinking different things, but yeah, that's something that has just crossed my mind as well. And
yeah,
has stacking gone too far is definitely something we don't think anyone knows the answer, but it would be interesting to see basically a breakdown of year by year if we saw this data and then had it for 1, 2, 3 just to see like, oh, in year one of just straight BBM, it was the highest stacked was basically like maybe 50% because people weren't really focusing on stacking and bring back. So yeah. Nez, what are your thoughts?
Definitely just like the ease of Justin Fields being able to be stacked for sure. DJ Moore and him like are always kind of like line up together where you can like try to get one and then get DJ Moore. And then obviously DJ Moore aside, Cole Kmet going as like tight end 17 is I mean, it's not crazy, but like it just makes it so easy to take him because you can reach on Cole Kmet by like 10 picks if you really want to, if you really don't want to like lose that stack, and it's like no problem because of where he's going. Like you're not losing too much like closing line value and sacrificing too many projected points by doing that. Darnell Mooney is super cheap. He's somebody that makes a ton of sense in best ball. I take him without Fields sometimes. So it's really just like not that hard to stack Justin Fields at all. And that's part of why he is like my second highest quarterback taken because of all those factors. And sidebar, real quick, you'll just have to excuse me. I don't know if you noticed, I've been fidgeting with like my eye the entire show. I don't know what's going on. It looks like pretty red from like my viewpoint. I just need to get a couple eye drops in here.
You've been in the Twins clubhouse. You get a little pink eye or something. I don't know if you knew.
They got pink eye.
Is that a thing right now?
Like 5 days ago, yeah, that's why Gallo and Castro were all scratched because he couldn't see. They just couldn't see it. The whole local radio was like, what the hell's been going on in the Twins clubhouse? That pink eye is spreading. You know what I mean? Like at all this, but yeah. I just want to say, John, if you could bring up Fantasy Football Garage's comment, the 1 second one on there, that might be the funniest thing I've seen in terms of I'm building fully clothed QBs over naked these days. The amount of times we just throw out the naked phrase.
I will say, it's kind of hard to draw up an argument for not stacking your quarterback other than just like getting different. And to me, that's not like a good enough reason.
Right. I don't think the field has gone, and that's kind of where I was going with the stacking analogy, where it was like, I don't think the field's gone so damn far that like everyone and their dog is stacking. So now that there's merit in running like a naked quarterback who is a one that's normally tethered to pass catchers, blah, blah. I think it might just be malpractice because maybe our little bubble, that would be a way to get unique. But in the totality of like the, 677,000 entries, like that's probably just making bad lineups, right? So I'm not sure there was any takeaway. I just got thinking about it that like hypothetically, if Burrow had gone down there, if how many of his pass catches are tethered to him, how many of those lineups are then dead, blah, 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 right? So yeah, I don't know. It just interesting thought process. But I'm not sure there's any real takeaways there other than the fact that I found it crazy that Justin Fields was the most stacked player in our sample thus far.
Makes sense.
Takeaways we can get by.
Oh, sorry.
No, the same amount of takeaways we can get by looking at the freaking training camp clips. Nothing. So.
Oh, come on. They're amazing. They're awesome. I got more training clips to talk about. Asset, we gave you a little shout out. Nice second place there last night. Baseball, we led the show yesterday with Ohtani and being like, hey, this could be a historic day for Ohtani. And it fucking was a historic day for Ohtani, which was pretty cool. Just one of the greatest single baseball performances ever. I don't know.
0.6 B war in one day.
Wow. That's actually when you put it like that, like he had 2 home runs in the second game, 3 RBIs. He got lifted after his third at bat because of his back. His back hurt from carrying the team all fucking year.
Yes.
So they had to lift him. And then the first game, complete game shutout, 111 pitches, 8 Ks, like just masterful stuff. Anyways, camp notes before we do our fun little exercise and a draft for the day. Rogers restructuring his deal, little smoke and mirrors and fire there that Dalvin Cook's going to be visiting. Dalvin Cook's name also thrown around with the Patriots there. Anything excite you guys there? Dalvin Cook of interest right now?
I still see him like fall to like 100, and that is where like I will strongly consider taking him. I will say the definitive source of all things breaking news, Crack Rock, says that the Jets are they're giving him like the wave, like go ahead and see if New England wants you. Supposedly they have questions about his health, questions about suspension, all per Crack Rock. This is all per Crack Rock. But who's to say? I mean, there's a lot of smoke with the restructuring that that somebody's coming in there, and I do think it is Dalvin. As far as like what that does for Breece Hall,
what's that do that for Breece? Yeah,
I think he ends up going like where Ken Walker is, and
good comp.
That is going to be a buy for me. I'm excited to get in on that Breece Hall dip if that does take place.
It's interesting that the thesis amongst so many sharp people was like that Breece's pendulum would swing the other way, and now it may in fact swing the wrong way in terms of closing line value, and you might end up with like some 5th round Breece Hall. I've seen a couple screenshots of 4th round Breece Hall for sure. I've yet to see 5th round Breece Hall, but if we just go ahead and look at the rankings, the Ken Walker comp I thought was good in the 52-ish range. So hypothetically, Cook signs there. Who would you rather have between ATN, Mixon, Walker, Aaron Jones, Madison, and Breece Hall?
I think Breece Hall still.
Okay. So maybe he doesn't fall that far.
Well, it really depends. It seems like we are all kind of overestimating how much we think the market is going to react to certain pieces of news, or maybe it just takes longer for that reaction to actually materialize itself in ADP. Like I thought Traylon Burks would be like in the 90s. Now he's still at like 81, 82 ADP. Like he didn't get the movement that I thought. Derrick Henry didn't get the movement that I thought.
The thing is that the sample is so large that it does take time for this stuff to manifest itself, right? That's why I like looking at it in those like screenshot windows that Underdog gives us, because that gives us a better picture of like what's happening in like the immediate time. But yeah, I do agree with you that I think our theoretical movement is a lot greater than actual movement for the majority of this season so far.
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting conversation there, because I think I'd rather have Mixon. I think I'd rather have Gibbs. ATN, I'm not like crazy high on. Like I think I'd rather have Walker than maybe Breece Hall. Like this is all hypothetical if he lands there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Joe Mixon definitely would probably lap him in ADP. Like that. Like that's what this is what I would think would happen. But yeah, it's just a little bit of like how I would draft it, I guess, and as far as that question goes.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else to add there, Neumy?
No, not really. I kind of agree with all that. It's just, I think GA just put a good point there. Basically, if Rodgers wants Cook, they'll sign him. So if Rodgers has any inclination of saying they want Cook, they'll sign him. And I think it just
he's watched him for years cook their ass, so he's
and like I mean, we don't need to go on it. I'm a firm believer that last year he was hurt, bad offensive line. He still showed signs of spike weeks, still showed sign and everything. Literally, we went from a run first offense to pass first offense. it was just everything was just terrible for him. So I still think he has something to give. And what that does for Breece, I kind of agree where it puts him there. I think Mixon will definitely flip him. The news just this only can be if Cook signs there, it can only just be bad news or just concern for how they want to ease him into that. And like how that plays into the contest, I still think it's fine. I still think Breece Hall has that. I mean, like you got Breece Hall still has that upside. Come week 6, 7, he's ready to go. And anything, Delvin's have the injury prone. Like they're just going to hand Breece the rock. You know what I mean? Like if he's ready to go off that injury. But for me, it just screams that they want to ease him in, and they know, and this may be just that a lingering thing that he's not full ready to go. So, it's interesting. So like basically just in terms of the knee injuries, we see Javonte fully clear, and then Breece Hall, now this news sync. So those are 2 ADPs. Yeah. I'm interested to see how close they get together.
Yeah, so there's another one that I was going to on the list. There's a couple more here. Clay alluding to the Mac Hollins clip. The Mac Hollins clip was dope. Mac Hollins is fucking a dog. Like we love Mac Hollins around here. So any Mac Hollins
right here. This guy loves himself some Mac. Oh yeah, right there.
It's hard to love Mac Hollins just because he reminds me of how Justin Jefferson royally fucked me. But if there's anybody that's allowed to, let's not forget that Justin Jefferson didn't score 3 points against the Detroit Lions in that week. That could have won me $50,000 fucking dollars. But if anyone's allowed to get hype over Mac Hollins,
runs worse.
It's me. So we love that. We absolutely love that. That was a sick clip, man.
I want you to just for once. I want somehow you to have an interaction where you see JJ on the street, you're in the state, and you just go, hey, you royally fucked me against that line.
I will
I need a 3-pointer.
Oh my God. Ever be that guy. I'm not
never
in his DMs,
be that guy.
I'm not on Twitter. This is what the stream's for. I'm just saying, I know you're joking, but I just want to say I will never, ever, 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 ever be the guy that's in an athlete's DMs over fantasy football. Like take a long, hard look in the mirror if that's you.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple other small nuggets. Amari Cooper was back out there, so that's good. He looked all right. I mean, like whatever. There's clips of him. There's your takeaway. Calvin Ridley was cooking dudes. Agent Zero getting some buzz right now in the street. Nick alluded to the fact that ATN was actually catching passes. That's kind of fun.
That's
Javonte
cool.
Williams cleared for contact. That's good. A little bit of clarity on the Bills backfield where James Cook is running with the ones. Then it's Dame Harris behind, then Latavius Murray. Just piggybacking on when we talked about the Naheem Hines stuff the other day. James Cook slowly making me feel nice, but the goal line touches are going to be limited because, 2 good goal line backs behind him in the pecking order, and then their best goal line back is their quarterback. So, scoring touchdowns are going to have to be scored on little pass catching, swing routes, angle routes, like that sort of stuff, right? Noah Fant had a knee procedure. He's not out there right now. Laporta is getting all sorts of hype. And Bijan cooked a backup linebacker, so people are going crazy.
I'm like,
that was hilarious.
Did you guys not know that Bijan Robinson was good at football? Like, hello, are we serious? Like, it really kind of makes you like take a step back and like, whoa.
Yeah. Pretty sure the dude he cooked was like a CFL guy, basically. Like,
right? Hey, Neumy, God damn it, have some respect. I'm right here.
Just taking shots right now. You guys, there's a body bag every time.
You could have said he was a nice Div 3 recruit, a junior college player. Come on, you don't have to throw these professional athletes under the bus that are firefighters in the office.
No comment.
Oh man! All right, let's have some fun. Little fuck around Friday here. We had this idea that we wanted to do a snake draft. We're going to do 5 rounds, maybe 6 rounds. We'll see how it's going here, see how our brains are working. We're going to do a little snake draft. Let's go youngest to oldest. We'll give Neumy the 101 there. And then we'll go Nez and then old balls John at the end here. We'll go youngest to oldest snake draft of players who are going to end up on the BBM for winning lineup. So This is half closing line value. This is half maybe just stud that we think is going to be on there. This is just going to be a rapid fire exercise in terms of who we think, kind of inspired by Hayden's video yesterday, because Hayden went rounds 1 through 18. If you haven't checked that out, it's pretty cool. But he goes 1 through 18. Him and Josh go 1 through 18 in terms of like what his favorite pick per round is. So this is kind of like our version of doing it in like a little snake draft fashion together. So Neumy with the 101 in the inaugural, who is going to be on a BBM winning team? You are going to pick Justin. Sorry. Go for it.
I was going to say, like, maybe this will be the second time I can get JJ in my exposures, huh?
I love it.
But honestly, I'm going to go a little contrarian. I'm going to shock the world here. I'm going to shock the world, and I'm going to go with one Cooper Kupp.
Okay, cool. Yep. And just because he's good at football and his price tag and blah, 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 or what do you think?
Yeah, I'm a full believer, like, in that nothing has changed for the fact that, I mean, obviously, well, besides the injuries in the offseason procedure and all that, I think I love the Rams. It's the same environment, everything. I think he could go right back to being the Cooper Kupp that we were drafting last year, and then all of a sudden now he's he's 104, 3, 5, whatever he goes in. But yeah, if we're going round 1, I think I like Cooper Kupp at that, getting him in the 5, 6, and what he can set up in that draft. Also because the 101 right now seems to be one of the grossest spots when you get back to the 2, 3. So
you think so? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know me. I know that's like a lot of people have been putting that out there, but it really is. It just seems gross with the basically you take a month or 2 back and you see the players that were at that spot. It's just tough. Yeah, Cooper Kupp, boom.
Like it. I love this. I love the Bijan versus Alabama takes. Fucking keep giving them to me, Garage. I love this. Okay, Nez, pick number 2. Who's going to be on a BBM winning roster?
Najee Harris.
Oh my goodness. All right.
Let's just like break this down for a minute, right? This is a guy who last season was going in the first round, sometimes in the second round if you are in FFPC main event drafts, and you just have to take them. Gets the Seattle Seahawks in week 17, which bodes well, in my opinion, for 2 reasons. One, I think the Seattle Seahawks are going to have a very nice offense. I think they have the ability to score points and can probably do that against the Steelers, who I do think are going to have a nice defense this season. So ability to push the pace there. 2 is I'm not so certain that the Seattle Seahawks are going to have a great run defense or just a great defense in general. And it's of my belief that the Steelers will have a marginally improved offense. Maybe not largely improved. I think that's a little too much to ask, but a slightly improved offense with the ability for Najee Harris to have somewhat of a Jamal Williams type season where if they find themselves at the 1 yard line quite a bit, like that's his territory. That's all him. If they don't run a bunch of like shotgun play action at the 1 yard line, like they've been known to do. And he also has the ability to catch 50 balls. So just that combination of goal line work plus pass catching work is really unique. And we're talking BBM where it's all about week 17. Najee can absolutely be the RB1 in week 17.
Okay. Yeah, I like it. I went a little bit week 17 narrative in my own regard here. And on the corner, when we wrap around here, it's going to surprise nobody that I'm going to add Justin Fields versus Atlanta. Rushing floor plus ceiling combo. Just he's that dude this year. There's 3 quarterbacks, I think, outside of the top 5 that could end up as overall QB1, and he has the highest chance of doing so, I think. So I really like Justin Fields this year, just in general. And then I really like the closing line value on Javonte Williams in the same vein that, Chargers week 17, improved offense, getting rid of Hackett, bringing in Sean Payton, passing to running backs. I just see a lot of improvement in the Broncos this year, and I love his price tag. We're talking about a talent that was going in the first 2 rounds, and now all of a sudden he's going in the 7th and 8th rounds, and his price tag is still too cheap. Market hasn't caught up. So my picks being kind of closing line value focused, I think, and then a little bit of matchup dependency there. Nez.
All right, we're going with another high capital draft pick, and this one is going to be Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
I think it's going to be very tough to have to compete with Tyreek Hill in Week 17 when he gets the Baltimore Ravens. Talk about another matchup that is going to be probably around, definitely above 50 in the points total when that line eventually like is real. I really don't give a shit about preseason totals, but it's going to be over 50. And Tyreek Hill, and I mean it's gonna to me, I just can't help but go back to that Week 4. Was it 3 or 4?
Yeah, Week 3 of last year, I think.
Yeah, Week 3 of last year, whenever that was, whenever Ravens and Miami played, and it was just a slugfest. And I can totally see something like that happening this year. Like the Ravens defense, I feel like is a little overrated by the public. Week two.
Okay. Last
I
year,
knew it was
37.
Knew it was early.
Yeah.
Nobody has as a wide receiver. I mean, like, yeah, some do, but like as far as like what Tyreek Hill can do, it's hard to on as limited touches as he needs to like absolutely destroy. Like 180 and 3 on like 5 catches is in Tyreek Hill's range of outcomes. He has the ability to destroy us in Week 17.
Anybody who plays DFS for the last 4 years knows nobody breaks a slate quite like Tyreek Hill breaks a slate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, this is funny because we need a tight end, and funny enough, he correlates with Tyreek Hill in Week 17, and I'm going to go with Mark Andrews in that Ravens offense. We all don't know what I don't need to start selling you on what's going to change with the Ravens offense. We all know. But we're going to need a tight end in there. And funny enough, yeah, I like that as well because we all know what happened previously in the games that Baltimore and Miami have played. Yeah, I love Mark Andrews. And honestly, I think he might be wide draft. My motto is why draft Travis Kelce when you can get Mark Andrews basically in the 3rd round.
That's fair.
It's a very good motto.
It's a good point.
This is actually hilarious. I swear I'm not trying to do this, but another guy that somehow correlates with your guy, John. We're going to need another wide receiver, and I'm going to go with Big Mike Williams.
You don't have to make like an actual lineup, right?
No, I know that, but
okay.
We're not feeling. Oh, now I'm totally lost with the whole fucking segment. But whatever.
You're not feeling like slots. You're just like who would be in the BBM winning roster.
Okay, well, that would have been good to know pre-show, but
I'm just building a super team.
We're just building. Okay, well, I'm gonna go with here Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts. But no,
2 QBs, bold.
Yeah. Big Mike Williams for me in that Kellen Moore taking over there. I
had Mike Williams on my list too.
Yeah, and it's fun. They correlate with your guys' 2 picks there. But yeah, I'm high on Mike Williams as well. So
yeah, I like that a lot. Basketball Viper doing our work for us. Only 28 likes on 60 views. Come on, guys. Come on, pick up that slack for us. We'd like to keep coming back here and doing this thing. What's up, Ben? Good looking out, dude. Jack Long, he's coming. He's got the over 80 points for Bedard, but McDavid greater than Bedard. Fun fact about Bedard, 134 games in junior, 134 goals.
Whoa.
Like that's nasty. Yeah, McDavid played 137 games in junior, and I think he had like 90 something goals. He had more assists, but just one of those things. Anyways, that was my little tangent, the sidebar. Yeah, I agree with you, Neumy. I'm really drinking the Kool-Aid on the Kellen Moore stuff. I'm really drinking the Kool-Aid on the Mike Williams being kind of like the guy who can separate and win on the outside. Matt Harmon had some nice things to say about him on the ETR podcast as well, where just like in terms of the way we think about Mike Williams might be kind of wrong. And like he actually does win routes, which is pretty cool to hear because I think most people just think of him as like a jump ball guy, right?
Yeah.
Nez.
Here we go. Picture this.
Oh my.
Oh no. Oh no.
Not kidding. Just put DeAndre Swift. Put DeAndre Swift in the cell.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. This is again like very much. It's a apostrophe and not an e. This for me is another like
DeAndre
looking
Ayton.
ahead at Week 17 and the Philadelphia Eagles play the Cardinals, and I don't see the Cardinals being a highly competitive team. Now, what would be great is if Kyler Murray was able to help push the pace if he's healthy and out there, and they actually are a better offense than we expect. Regardless of how that plays out, I think there's a couple things that, well, one is a little bit of wish casting for DeAndre Swift, right? And that's, people will look at the Eagles and say they never threw to running backs in the past. I think that kind of changes based on personnel. And when you bring DeAndre Swift into your personnel, that just opens up an entire new section of the playbook that maybe you didn't have in the past. So give me a little DeAndre Swift on the Eagles. I think this is a landing spot that we are kind of overthinking when this move took place, and where his like ADP is right now. He has the ability to absolutely crush, and Rashad Penny is not necessarily the poster boy of health. So it does kind of rely on a little bit of probably Rashad Penny maybe not being healthy, maybe not having as big of a role as we expect. And DeAndre Swift just like finally getting the workload that he really deserves in an offense that has a tremendous offensive line, tremendous pieces around them. DeAndre Swift could be like an efficiency monster. I'm talking like Alvin Kamara rookie season type efficiency based on how nasty this offense is going to be.
Man, I'm buying everything you're selling there. And then I'm just kind of like thinking about how does that apply to Rashad Penny, as well. Like, like just in tandem.
It should apply to him as well.
Right. It's like whoever wins that Eagles backfield supplants the pass catching role of Kenny Golladay. I mean, maybe it's just a hodgepodge gross rotation all year long, but like you get 11 carries. If you find your way to 8 to 12 carries and 4 to 6 targets every week in that offense, like you are going to matter in a big way, right? It's just who's that player going to be, right? And it's interesting you take the Swift route instead of the Penny, and that's probably because of the pass catching upside, right?
Yeah, I just think it's hard for us to, like I said, a little bit of wish casting. And I also just think that just because they haven't done something in the past doesn't mean they won't do it in the future if the personnel changes.
I like it. For my next one, I like Kyle Pitts. I like Kyle Pitts for all the same reasons that Neumy likes Mark Andrews. I just like him as like the discount version of ceiling tight end in the 5th, 6th round, in that range. I think there's something interesting about tight end pricing this year that we haven't seen in BBMs yet, where the elites were all pushed up and you'd be fighting over, like if you think back 3 years ago, you'd be fighting over Kelsey, Andrews, Kittle in the first like 28 picks, right? Sometimes 25 picks. And this year it's way more spread out, but I do think that middling talent, that middling elite talent from like tight end 4 through tight end 8, I think one of those guys, price adjusted, is the piece you need. I think I like betting on Pitts the most, Kittle the second most. But yeah, someone from that tier to me just screams from a roster construction standpoint, they're going to be the guy you need, right? I don't know. That's where I'm going at with Pitts.
There's a lot of
go.
There's a lot of bear case like baked into these guys' ADPs, like when it comes to Pitts and like Waller specifically, like two guys that we all profiled as like basically wide receivers with tight end designations. And there's a lot of doubt that's baked into that. And it's a little bit of injury, a little bit of like offensive concerns. But to me, like, just to reiterate, like what you said, it is such a unique tight end environment and tight end landscape in BBM that I absolutely agree. And it goes back to also what Neumy said, where he's like, why take Kelsey when you can take Andrews, when you can take Pitts? Like you are sacrificing a lot when you take Travis Kelsey, and Pitts at pick 68 is just one example of what you can do instead.
Yeah. Like if you run the 2v2 of like passing on Cup or Hill, like you guys have both mentioned, you guys love here. If you do that 2v2 of passing on them to take Kelsey, and then you scroll the F down to like where like Kyle Pitts goes, you could either have like Cup plus, sorry, I'm doing this in real time and it's kind of butchering it. You can either have Kelsey plus Pittman, Evans, Addison, Cam Akers. So like one of those combinations. You could have Kelsey plus one of those three, right? Or you can have Cooper Kupp plus Pitts, or you can have Tyreek Hill plus Pitts.
Like
I don't think that's close.
it's not. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be,
Right.
but yeah.
Yeah, I mean Kelsey plus Gabe Davis or Tyreek Hill and Pitts. Right? Like that 2v2 is never close in my opinion.
That's a good one. That's a good one because I think Gabe Davis is a little mispriced. Like he's a little too cheap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, interesting stuff. Next one I was going to add here. I don't know if I'm going too far with this, but I'm
It's
still
time for us
buying,
to get
guys.
crazy. It's the last two rounds.
I'm still buying.
Hill.
I'm still
Leonard
buying.
Fournette.
I'm still buying Lenny.
What team?
I don't think
We just lost half our viewers.
I don't think there's I still don't think there's a better 18th round pick right now. I just the ability to pass block, the ability to catch passes, the ability to fit schematically with almost anywhere, even if he is fat Eddie Lacy and toast and done, I think he can still have a role that puts up a couple games this year that matter. And if you're looking at the round 18 landscape and you're thinking about closing line value, I don't see how Lenny doesn't return it unless, he just pulls the Will Fuller and he's gone for the year. Like he just doesn't sign. I just don't see how Lenny doesn't give us at least like 3 weeks, 3 spike weeks, and maybe 5 usable weeks if he lands anywhere competent.
I'm with you, man. The big thing with Lenny is like if he does sign somewhere, and I do think he does, like the closing line value that you get on Lenny is going to be probably like, dude, what, like 5, depending on the landing spot, it could be up to like 5 rounds where he's a 13th round pick. Do you think that that's too crazy?
Too crazy, yeah. I think the market's too smart now that he would really have to. He would have to go to the Bengals. He would have to go to the Bengals and get some mix and fud for him to be a 13th rounder.
Yeah, that's probably best case scenario. You're right.
Right. Like where's a better ceiling case for Lenny, right?
Yeah, no, it's definitely there, or like LA. If he goes to LA, where we are all pretty bullish on their outlook this season compared to the field, that would be pretty exciting because I mean, they didn't really love Cam Akers until they had to love Cam Akers. You know what I mean?
Point.
Like
that's a good point.
He didn't play all the snaps until it was late in the season and they were punting. So kind of interesting.
Okay. We got to say what's up here. Toya, first time here. Welcome. This is safe space.
Welcome.
Safe space to hang out. Just talking some ball and doing a little BS draft right now. Nez, who's the next one that could potentially be on a BBM winning team?
Should we have some fun? Should we have a little fun?
Buddy. Absolutely.
You've had fun since your first pick, bud.
I have. This is nothing but fun. Go quarterback. Let's go a little Russ Wilson.
You son of a bitch.
Interesting. Wow, you had him too, Neumy?
That was my next.
Wow.
Yeah. I love it, Nez. It's all right. You don't sell everyone the pen.
Do your research while I talk this over. Well,
yeah.
I got to be honest, man. Sean Payton's got me ready to run through a wall. The way he was talking all that shit on Nathaniel Hackett. I don't know if you guys, if you have not seen this interview that Sean Payton did, I think he was like drunk or something, but like scathing remarks on Nathaniel Hackett and the job he was doing. He said he couldn't even like evaluate the film of the Broncos offense last season because he was like, it was not discernible what they were doing on the field. Like he just had no idea what was going on. Welcome to Range of Outcomes, Crutches. Have you?
I love it.
This is big guy.
Listen, I put the eye drops in. We're getting a little better.
I love it.
Man.
Okay.
Goddamn thing, Nez. Can't tell.
Let's go. I love it.
Russ like actually put up like back-to-back 24-point weeks at the end of last season against the Chiefs and the Chargers. That was something nice to see, right? Because Russ, there's just almost like no way that Russ was as bad as he looked last season. Like they're just it's borderline like improbable.
Mm-hmm.
So bringing in a great coach like Sean Payton, counting those last year as just reps, right? Reps with the team because there wasn't a lot of turnover in that team, with now a healthy Javonte Williams potentially helping the efficiency of that offense, mostly because they play the Chargers as well, where, you talk about a potential shootout. Russ Wilson could be a sleeper on one of these teams where you sneak him in a low on Russ Wilson, and lo and behold, he puts up 30 points against the Chargers, and it turns out it's what you need.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. You're selling me this pen. I'm not buying it yet, but I do see the bull case for sure. Neumy.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna quickly throw this one out there. Nez totally took it, so we're just gonna go with Matthew Stafford. We're gonna stay on the Rams train, and make it easy. And then we're just gonna go to my next one because I don't really need to continue the whole Rams thing. This next one is fun for me. So I'm gonna go with the Chief. I'm gonna go with potentially the number one wideout that isn't even a wideout, and that is one Jerick McKinnon.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone understood, and then you probably do, but 71 targets for Mr. Jerick McKinnon last year. And what have what my thought and what I've been preaching over and over, and what I think is just they like to just ease him in as if he's always coming off a big injury. Like he's always coming off that injury that he had from San Francisco. They're going to ease him in. They're going to let the other, and then when it matters most, Jerick McKinnon's there. I mean, he legitimately could lead the team besides Travis Kelce. He could be that guy that Patrick Mahomes trusts, like, running all of these routes. I love me some Jerick McKinnon. I think it's in the last week could set up for just a smash game. What did we see basically weeks like 10 through 17 last year? He cannot keep getting away with this. And what did he keep doing? He kept getting away with it.
It's true. Yeah, he was an efficiency monster there with all those little angle routes and stuff out of the backfield that they designed.
And I mean, he's been in that system. He's just on hip. He's getting more. I mean, it seems like he knows exactly where to be for Mahomes to be in that place. So, I mean, everyone's talking Sky Moore, Rashee Rice, Richie James. It's like, I know Jerick McKinnon's price tag's like 124, 125, something like that. Like, I don't know. Give me some Jerick McKinnon out there. I like that. I like him a lot. So
cool. Yeah, no, I like that shout a lot.
Very much so. I think the fact that they haven't even been like, and maybe they are just like airtight as far as their moves go, but the fact that they haven't even been in the conversation of bringing in one of these veteran running backs, like I was so certain that they would have, it definitely, I think, bodes well for McKinnon. And like you said, I think the chemistry there with Mahomes is something to not overlook.
Yep. I like it. Yeah, good shout. Nez.
All right.
This is our last one. I think this is our last one, eh?
This is our last one.
Bring the house down, Nezzy.
Because I want to end with some honorable mentions before I slam the door on you.
Well, we all know your last. We all know your last one, John. We can pencil TAY.
Schmason Jill.
How crazy do you want me to get? I got two potential answers for this.
You can.
Well, I want both those answers, but I want the crazier one first.
Yeah, let's go.
I want Isaiah Spiller in this cell, dude.
Oh my. Okay.
I want Isaiah Spiller in this cell.
All right, buddy. You got to sell me the pen. You got to sell me the notebook. You got to sell me the entire debt. What is going on?
Here's the deal. What? Let me give you a little backstory on Isaiah Spiller, right? Dude was like 18 years old when he got drafted. 21. Okay. But a child. He was a baby. And they took him with not shitty draft capital. I forget what draft. I want to say like third round. I could be. They took him at pick 123. Not shitty draft capital. Now let's talk about Austin Eckler, who dead ass man ran hot as the sun last year.
He did. Yep. He ran hot as the sun with the
sun.
With the positive touchdown regression, he ran hot as the sun. Absolutely.
There's a chance that he's just not that efficient, and they need to cycle in Isaiah Spiller, maybe Josh Kelly, but I really am just a believer in Isaiah Spiller's talent. Let him sniff the field a little bit, maybe a little contingency value. Definitely more of a contingency play on this answer, but I just want to put Isaiah Spiller on everybody's radar that this dude is still on the team. He is still RB or RB2 AB with Josh Kelly. don't sleep on Isaiah Spiller. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Did you take a couple extra doses this morning when you microdosed? I'm confused. I'm lost right now. Did a couple extra slip into that or something? Like,
hey man, I'm just
you
saying.
didn't tell me anything.
Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised when 32 Beat Writers starts pumping the Isaiah Spiller hype train. It's gonna happen. It's absolutely gonna happen. Austin Eckler's 28 years old, and the efficiency is going to take a dip. So whatever they choose to do with that when that happens, we'll see.
Yeah. Silas agreeing with you here. Silas is giving you some love. Everyone else thinks you're macro dosing, not micro dosing.
I asked how crazy you wanted me to get. Okay.
No, I love it. I love this so much. Yeah, the post-hype narrative of a guy they spent draft capital on, then they changed the coaching staff, hyper efficient in college, blah, blah, blah. I see it. I see the path. I see good offense. I see whatever. There's definitely a path to him being RB2 in that offense, and I'm not sure there's a spot with bigger contingency value in terms of like just straight 1-for-1 handcuff than the Chargers backfield, right? I mean,
we don't want that. We never root for that, but that would be
that's
nuts.
the thesis.
That would be nuts.
Yeah. I mean, he was a 4th-round pick, right? 3rd-round pick, 4th-round pick 2 years ago, and then 2022. Anyways, there's the other one that fits that same narrative. You could spin that exact same narrative that you just spun, but with Chuba Hubbard. Like a guy who was supposed to be running back 1 coming out of that draft class.
His
right?
competition
goes
is Miles
back
Sanders.
No. Yeah. I'm not going that route. I'm going the route of the fact that like he was supposed to be running back 1 in that class. Spiller was getting that same hype, supposed to be running back 1 in that class. Doesn't turn out to be running back, falls in the draft, still believe in the talent a couple years later, change of coaching staff. Maybe now here comes the opportunity, right? So I don't know. It's just, it's definitely a far-fetched one, but I'll entertain it.
Thank you.
Here.
I'm just having some fun. Yeah, it's time. I did not expect to have a 10-minute segment on Isaiah Spiller today. That was not my intention waking up this morning.
I will say that the BBM4 winner will perfectly select between the back and 2nd round running back and be overexposed in quotations to that player. So between Barkley, JT, Pollard, and Derrick Henry, I think that is the toughest decision in our game right now. Selecting out of those guys and taking the scattered shot approach is obviously a viable one. Just hope you hit in succession there. You could also throw Nick Chubb into that category. I think if I had a crystal ball right now and you were like, what is the one thing that you need to know for BBM4 to have that? It is, where does that, shout out Kareem, legendary upside running back season come from out of Barkley, Pollard, JT, or Henry? I think that would be like the number one question I would ask that ball. And that would be like who I would love to put in here, but I have no idea what that is. So I'm going back to the quarterback with a guy that I draft way too much. And I'm same thesis as Justin Fields, except for he doesn't run anymore. Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is a 2-quarterback build where Kyler Murray is your 2nd quarterback, where you get him in. He is the late round quarterback thesis to an absolute T. If he is ready for week 1, even if that team is putrid, even if that team wins 5 games, Kyler Murray will find a way to matter this year as a QB2 on a winning roster for BBM.
I like that call. If he's somebody that is like activated off PUP and expected to go week 1, I think we see him in like the 120s potentially.
Even higher.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, just do the 1v1 in your mind right now. Kyler's at 150 in terms of ADP. He's QB 19. Kyler Murray or Kirk Cousins?
Don't ask what you're asking.
Jesus.
Okay. Well,
That's-
then maybe
that's
it's
a tie for
closer.
me.
Then maybe he is perfectly fine in like the 120s. Aaron Rodgers or Kyler Murray?
Kyler.
Same.
But you shouldn't ask me that because I hate Aaron Rodgers.
I think
Anthony Richardson or Kyler Murray?
Ooh, that's a good one. AR5.
Okay. Neumy?
AR.
Okay. Yeah, so maybe he settles in like the 120, 125 range, and the closing line value is actually only 25 spots. But that closing line value right now of 25 spots from the start of BBM is actually like 65. Because like 18th round Kyler exists because I have one, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, no, I agree. Like when he falls, man, he's so easy to take when he falls. So I know they had the coaching change. This is the first year of that new coaching regime. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So,
horizontal rate is gone.
Yeah. So what's interesting about that, in my opinion, is like, because it's like a new coaching staff and like that's understood, there is like that grace period, right? Where like your first year, unless you are Nathaniel Hackett, like that first year is like a little bit of a grace period. And what is like kind of concerning to me, this is just like a macro Kyler talk, not like your pick here, is like, they might be like, hey, it's like our first year. Like, let's just like let's get a culture established in this room. Let's get Kyler like healthy. And because like the ownership knows like, hey, we just paid him like hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, let's make sure he's right. But in my heart of hearts, I believe if Kyler Murray is healthy, he is a professional athlete. He's a competitor. He wants to play if he's healthy, and they won't hold him back. But that little part of me is like, damn, man, are they really going to hit the reset button and give him Marvin Harrison Jr.? You know, like what's really going to happen?
Yeah, fair enough. Sharp point from Crutches right now, that he plays well on teams where you build out a quarterback who has a late bye.
Oh yeah,
Just
absolutely. Like
Lamar.
Like that. Give me a little Lamar. I have a ton of Lamar and Kyler because of that exact thing. Yeah.
A couple other names that I had on here: Bateman, Jalen Warren as one of my favorite contingency running backs. Brock Purdy. I think Brock Purdy's ADP is just wrong. Like if you just think about the weapons that he has in CMC, Ayuk, Debo, Kittle, like all these guys getting drafted inside the top 80 picks or whatever, like it's the inverse narrative of quarterback. It's the inverse narrative of Patrick Mahomes, where Mahomes is dragging pass catchers along, and we're trying to pinpoint that pass catcher. The Brock Purdy one is, look at how good these fucking weapons are.
Yeah, he's gonna
drag his ass along.
He has a chariot of yak gods. Like they made the entire plane out of like yak monsters, and all he has to do is throw the ball 5 air yards, and next thing you know, he's got 80 yards and a touchdown next to his stat line.
Yeah. So honorable mention to some of those guys. Any last honorable mentions to guys you had on your list? Nez, you said you had one more there.
I did.
The Spiller or whatever. What was the other one?
Tyler Algier.
Okay. Yeah. Contingency play plus 1,000-yard rusher last year who looked really efficient.
Yeah. Could be Vulture. You know, it could be, you know, like there's a lot of, I mean, it's a total narrative street, but you know, if for whatever reason, you know, if Bijan isn't the goal line back all season, or maybe in week 17, Bijan has a nice long run. Gotta bring in Algier because Bijan just ran 60 yards to the goal line, and now Algier finishes it off. Like there's a lot of ways that Bijan owners can get rugged. Even though I love Bijan and I take him above the field, I am mixing in a lot of Algier, and it took me like until like last month to realize like, oh yeah, I need to be taking Algier because he goes super cheap and probably is going to have a role in this offense. And like you mentioned, the contingency value is huge because the dude just did it last year. Like there's little reason to expect the offense to get worse.
Yep. I like it. Neumy, any more that you had on your list that you wanted to add there?
102. We might get you a Jefferson share here, depending on what raise it does.
Jefferson's dead to me.
It's like a sharp turn.
I have no JJ. I'm now fading JJ. No, I'm just kidding. No. We can just move on. I mean, I literally got one share through 109 drafts, so you know he's doing everything this year. But no, just in terms of that. Now I'm trying to look at my exposures and see anything on there. No.
Right.
I think we can safely move on.
Right.
T-Bear,
Oh, sorry.
well, yeah, let me hit on these two first. T-Bear saying the Waller one. The Waller thesis we kind of touched on when we were talking about the Kyle Pitts thing there, that like in the same way that I think finding one of those running backs, if I had a crystal ball in the end of the second round, which one to pinpoint, the same thesis applies to the tight ends of tight end like 5 through 8, right? If I knew whether it was going to be Waller, Goddard, Pitts, or Ingram, like that's the dream, right? Yeah, and then we got to make this pick real quick here. Do you guys like Chase?
I still like Chase.
Yeah, you guys still like Chase over this, even with any Burrow FUD. There's no reason to push up Cooper. There's no reason to anything like that.
I don't think you should spoil a number 2 pick.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the best little minis is going right now is the Cooper Kupp plus Saquon Barkley. That's not going to last forever.
That's a lot of fun. I'm surprised that Saquon isn't getting the movement yet.
Yeah, Saquon's going to push up and Cooper Kupp's going to push up, or he already has pushed up. So like those little minis that you were getting from like the 105 early in draft season, they're probably not going to be there anymore. Maybe a little bit later when ADP is kind of like more fluid at the back end of draft season, you could fall into that. But at this point in time, it's pretty hard to get. The other one I wanted to hit on here was Sam Howell for 2 reasons. If you want the Sam Howell content, you just got to watch, Pete and Pat or Eric and Pat duke it out about Sam Howell. That's not our lane. That's their shtick. That's not our lane. But Sam Howell, eerily similar to Isaiah Spiller. Huh? How about this comp? Because goes back to college, right? Doesn't play well. Kind of actually maybe more similar to Chuba Hubbard. He had QB1 written all over him. People thought he was going to be the first draft pick off the board, thought he was going to be QB1 in the class, decides to go back to school after getting hurt, doesn't have a great year, and then comes out and you get like discount and then does kind of like 1 year as backup quarterback duties once he makes it to the NFL, right? Kind of eerily similar of like Isaiah Spiller, where it's like guys believed in the talent, thought he could have been number 1 on his class, and then all of a sudden, new coaching staff, maybe gets an opportunity here where we're buying back into that post-hype sleeper, right?
Yeah, I'll give it to you. That was a good comp. I like the parallels you drew. That was fun. I have been taking Sam Howell a little bit, but I'm still like not so certain that he's gonna run like he did that one time. He had one year where he tested slow. Doesn't seem like an equation that equals good rushing floor in the NFL.
This is a great point.
Yeah, dude. You're gonna get so much
Doobie's getting
regression.
All the JJ. Yeah.
In battle royales, man, you're gonna be like the JJ guy every single week, like 54%. I can see it now.
The RNG is coming back around.
I was gonna say, right on cue, Underdog NFL boosting this NBC Sports Philadelphia post, saying that it looks like catching passes will be a big part of DeAndre Swift's role. Because
color me fucking shocked. Wow,
love it.
Great info. Great
I thought
info.
For sure, he was going to be running in between the tackles.
Yep. Yeah. He screamed Derrick Henry type usage to me. I don't know.
Guys, fantasy receipts just followed me on Twitter. I'm dead. They're gonna out me. They're gonna out me for this Lenny Fournette exposure.
I blocked them a while ago.
Yeah, I actually don't follow them. I don't know.
Yeah, don't give them the courtesy of following back. It's strange behavior on there. It was like funny until they got like really personal with some of their shit.
Oh, really? I don't follow.
Yeah, they got weird with it.
I was shocked when I was looking at my BBM exposure. I think I'm through 50 or something like that. I'm much lower than I intended to be by now.
More than I thought.
Yeah. The Jonathan Taylor one. I was pretty shocked to learn that I had 24% Jonathan Taylor. I think I was doing a lot of those mini stacks early of Devontae Adams, Devontae Adams and Jonathan Taylor, doing that kind of like week 17 correlation from the back end of draft boards. I think I fell into that. And then I think I just kept eating that Jonathan Taylor dip a little bit as like, workhorse talent, blah, blah, blah. So kind of interesting. I don't know what the takeaway is.
That pairing isn't bad. Like, I think that should still be considered by people. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just because we're about to get Taylor on the other end of the board doesn't mean that you shouldn't reach for that Adams correlation, because for what it's worth, that's going to be, if you get that combination to the finals, say what you will about like uniqueness and how much it matters. Like you're probably going to be the only one. And that's a nice little pairing. You want to talk about someone that has QB1 or RB1 upside any given week.
We could do a week 17 thing here with Mahomes and do like the not with Burrow, Mahomes plus Chase. We could do Devontae and try and set up Jalen Hurts on the way back. Who do you guys like?
Devontae or Henry? Personally, I don't really like taking Mahomes. Maybe that's...
Let me break the tie.
Mahomes.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God. I bet between Devontae and Henry. Break the tie between Devontae and Henry. He says Mahomes.
You didn't stay between that. You put out Mahomes. He put out.
That's true. That's true.
I didn't put out Mahomes as the pick. I painted a narrative for all three. I said Mahomes, Smith, and whatever.
I can't blame John. Has never said anything. It is always I meant this and this, even though I said this.
You're not wrong. That was that. And when you played it back, I can totally understand where you came from. Whoa, Deebo Samuel.
Yeah. I like both.
Flipping the board.
That was fine.
Okay, so do we want to take Jalen now and set up that stack, or do you want to go to that Mahomes and get weird with it and see if we can backstack with Mahomes?
I'll do Mahomes. I mean, either of those quarterbacks are fine now.
Come on, say a name.
You have to do it. I would have said Hurts. That's why we took Devontae Smith. But that is like a very interesting, like, I mean, to me, I think it's just getting cute for the sake of getting cute. But Mahomes has a ton of options to stack other than Kelsey, of course.
Alluding to Neumy2's favorite McKinnon too.
Yeah. Right. I don't know, man. I just think Hurts and Allen are better picks in this format.
Totally
fair enough.
Totally get it. Yeah.
Ooh, get the Calvin Ridley bump here.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
Lord.
And I can't, I'll be honest, I can't really blame the rise. Calvin Ridley is someone, it's not like a player that, he just sat out all of last year. I think it's okay for people to get excited to see that, holy shit, yeah, this guy's still fast. I'm okay with the way that people are reacting to that.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, someone was asking about this the other day, like the Caleb Williams hype. Like, is it like a tank for quarterback year? Like, is Caleb Williams like that dude? Like,
there's mock drafts out there that say, is it May? Derek May from UNC? That he will end up being the 101 in the class. But the hype right now, because of how we saw Caleb Williams end the season, is like all around Caleb Williams for sure. I think if you are Drake May, I knew it wasn't Derek. I was like, it's a DRKE something. But
I think he might be Heisman odds like number 2
odds
or something
on.
like that.
Yeah, that would make sense. If you play Superflex leagues, this is the year to tank for the 1 or 2 for sure, though, and Superflex Dynasty, because those guys are definitely going to be 1 and 2 off the board in some order this coming draft season for sure.
Caleb Williams is plus 350. Drake May is plus 900. Bo Nix is plus 1100. Jordan Travis, who's Florida State, is plus 1100. And then Michael Penix Jr., good UW boy, led the league or led all of college football in passing yards last season. He's coming back and going to be plus 1100 there too. So yeah.
MPJ.
Yes, baby.
That's cool. I'm in. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good QB class, man.
Yeah, it does sound that way, right?
Is Bo Nix draft eligible this season? After this
I
season?
imagine so. Bo Nix feels like he's been around for fucking ever.
He does.
You know, yeah, like he was at Auburn and then he went to Oregon and then he had kind of had like one of those years where he didn't start, or he had a COVID year that extended his eligibility by one, and then yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Like all Pac-12 QBs are always going to have this like stench about them, especially if you go from SEC to Pac-12. Like that to me, that's like it feels like I know Rudman had a tweet about like he doesn't like Justin Herbert because he just like has that Pac-12 stench on him, and I feel like it'd be such like a Rudman take to be like, yeah, a guy that transfers from the SEC to Pac-12, like that's soft. I don't.
That's yeah.
I can't have that type of player on my team.
I like that. Yeah, Quinn Evers is going to be the Texas starting quarterback too. So there's that.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, I need to get my knowledge up. Like I don't have like the
wait
brain
until
power.
the season. You'll learn as the season goes.
Yeah, like it's hard enough like knowing all of these stupid little baseball names in my head every day. Like
there's a couple wild picks that went down on this draft board here. JSN up to 14.
What
making a couple one-handed camp catches there. Might have been a misclick. Might have just been getting ahead. I don't know.
That's badass.
That is badass.
DK Metcalf normally doesn't fall to 31.
Yeah. I had another one. Well, that's because the Calvin Ridley flipped kind of thing, and Debo flipped the board, right? Like raise it, taking Debo flipped the board, which I mean, I got nothing wrong with either of those picks.
Yeah, no.
Mixon starting to push up a little bit here. Another one I had on my list for just because of the importance of touchdowns in this format. I mean, I like the rushing quarterback upside because of how important touchdowns are on this platform, obviously. But Justin Herbert just feels like I'm buying, man. I'm buying.
No, I'm with you. I mean, it's hard to not like give a little bump when you see a guy become the highest paid quarterback in NFL history.
Yeah.
But a lot to like about Herbert and the Chargers, like the coaching regime change, Herbert being healthier, hopefully Keenan Allen staying healthy this season, QJ being there.
Can't forget about Isaiah Spiller.
Oh boy, it's baked in. That's baked into the bullishness. Look at the Breece Hall fall, dude.
Yeah, I was about to say we might have the Breece Hall decision at 47, which wouldn't have been a decision for me. I would have just clicked it. But yeah, we're already starting to see it. Like we just did the hypothetical exercise. Would ATN, Gibbs, and Mixon jump him? And that's basically exactly what we just saw. Drake London stands out to me, or Mike Williams. One of those two.
I love me some Drake London. No, I think it's between those two. Okay. Yeah, we just talked about the Chargers. Might as well.
Sure.
That's one guy that I'm not on. Drake London.
No.
Not with Ayuk, not with Mike Williams going there around that range. No, I'll take Kyle Pitts later. No.
Ayuk versus London 1v1 is a interesting one.
I think so too, man. Because the targets in Atlanta, like say what you will about the Atlanta offense, which is all warranted, like the negatives, they're going to be extremely concentrated. With Ayuk, like he earned quite a few targets last year, but there's a lot of mouths to feed in San Diego. Damn it, dude,
Anchor Ken Walker stands out to me here. You could twist my arm into Ayuk as well.
Kenner Hawk.
Who?
Hawkinson. Walker. I like Walker here.
I don't take enough Kenneth Walker, and I think Kenneth Walker, like I think in the same vein that we talked about, like, late anchor running back, there's like certain guys that you can feel comfortable building 0 RB teams that are not like full 0 RB teams, but are just like, hey, you take your first one at 5th. And it's kind of like an inverse hero RB. I just made that up right now, where it's like this is a hero RB build because it's anchored by one running back, but it's 0 RB because that running back wasn't taken in the first round.
No, right. It's almost reminiscent of like the Josh Jacobs ADP last season, right? Where he was like bona fide RB1, but buried in ADP. This is a little more expensive version of that, but like getting yourself to a QB1, like the QB1 potentially with 3 wide receivers ahead of that, like that is, it's like you said, man, like it's that the last couple of years have really come from like those back end running backs that like didn't get their, like when Jonathan Taylor was going in like the second round and he was the overall RB1, you know, like shit like that. I'm at 2 out of 71, 2 shares of Spiller and BBM out of 71 teams.
The people want more money where your mouth is with that one.
Oh, I'm working on it. I've got a lot in the smaller stakes, but in BBM I'm 2 out of 71, and Najee I'm only at like 5 out of 71. So like I'm just trying to I just don't think that we respect the range of outcomes for Najee enough. That's all. Like
fair enough.
Like a full fade of Najee is just a bad idea. Like objectively is just not a good idea. It's just not.
Mm-hmm. It's funny that we interrupted Raise It strategy twice there by stealing his ideal stack partners. That's good. This is a great point from T-Bear. The stuff that Terrence is reading into right here. This is the camp stuff we should be reading into. Looking at coaches' facial hair to establish what is going down. That's a take I'm in on. That is a run the damn ball stash. But we knew that team was run the damn ball to start. But then just that visual confirmation bias, absolutely.
Yeah. It's hard to say otherwise. I mean, just it speaks for itself.
Yeah. Swift goes there. Najee. See, like if you do something like this where you start with like three wide receivers, then going like Najee, Pierce, Swift, like that feels like you could still just make it a 5 running back build or a 4 running back build. And like you just hit on those 3, right? Because the ceiling of those 3 that those 3 all represent is like RB1 upside, right? Like
100%.
Yeah, I love that roster construction idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fun to play around with this stuff.
Yeah. The other one I wanted to hit on that Neumy just sent me right here is another reason for us to be all in on our boy Mac Hollins. Mac Hollins, great quote from Mac Hollins. I don't like soft people. I don't even like people who eat with utensils. Eat with your hands, and that's what they're there for. Mac Hollins,
shit.
This is a pro Mac Hollins space. This guy is a dog.
Mac Hollins must have like a little like Middle Eastern in him, because that's like what all the like all that culture does.
That. Dude, you imagine, and maybe he doesn't just go into like a buffet. He sits down, he has a plate, and he just starts going in with his hands.
You know what?
Like he's just like F this, F that, and just starts just everything. And I mean like mac and cheese. Just
mac and cheese.
Everything that should not be cereal. He's eating cereal with hands. Like that's what that is the weirdest quote ever.
It is a weird quote.
I love it so much though. Yeah, I love it so much.
We might have the Jordan Addison decision because he goes so effing fast. This has to be Trevor Lawrence right here. Right?
Goes so fast. I need to know about his dog, man. We haven't even figured out the name of the dog. Is the dog okay? This is the information the reporter should be giving us during training camp rather than clips. Let me know about the damn dog.
Guys, I want to scroll the F down right here. I mean, Addison makes sense, but I want to scroll the F down. I actually think this is like his actual price tag.
Sure.
I think this is his actual price tag. I think Javonte correlates so beautifully with Mike Williams, like we alluded to in the previous whatever. And when you do this kind of like one running back through the first 5 rounds, I'm looking at the ceiling of like, what could James Conner be? Well, he could be a 3-down guy. I kind of like that. Rachaad White, we've talked about how like just don't love the offense in general, but could be good. And what I thought was going to happen is what was going to come back to us was going to be our pick of Addison or a Dallas Goedert stack if we want it. So I lean to the stack, but I'm open to options.
No, that's fine. I like that for sure.
Definitely. This, I mean, that's a little too easy.
Okay. Yeah, I like this build so far. I'm really feeling this, guys.
Yeah, I've been on record on this show time and time again, just like pumping the Javonte Williams hype. It just, to me, seems like such an easy bet to make. I don't think he's going to be a 0, and the upside is is it's large.
It's large.
Yeah, no, fully agree. Yeah, everyone's on Mac Hollins now. Mac Hollins went PET test.
It probably already is in his.
Yeah.
He's got the notification right now, sitting in the locker.
He had an empty, the empty cup was just sitting there as soon as he came back from that practice. Like, what the?
Use your hands, buddy.
Use your hands.
Yeah, GA doing the thing that we didn't want to hear.
We haven't heard that. We don't know. We don't know if he lied or not.
Dog. It's
we don't
a
know
lie.
that.
It's blah blah blah. He's frantically
then he's
searching
quick
all
on
the
his feet.
local.
He's not quick on his feet for the cops, man. Like, oh, a dog, you know what I mean? Like 3 a.m. For some reason, I'm going to a vet hospital. You know what I mean? Like, and there's only, I know there's 24-hour vet hospitals, but
he reads the field well. He processes the information in front of him well. He had an alibi for the cops immediately. Jordan Addison, you heard it here first, reads the field well, smart, locker room guy, studies the playbook, knows in the playbook guy. Yeah, but that's the take nobody wants to hear, that he's scouring local shelters right now looking for a puppy to pretend is his right now.
What? Yeah, now we're going. Yeah, goodness.
Yeah, we need a real alibi here.
Oh my God. That would be bad information to come out. That Jordan Addison was in our local shelter today adopting a dog.
Yeah, you're gonna see him with just a brand new puppy.
My Lord.
The reverse Michael Vick.
Wow.
What? He's adopting dogs. It's a good thing. It's good for the community. Jordan Addison's a good guy. The reverse Michael Vick.
Surely there wasn't a reason he's going to adopt a dog. Just to cover his ass.
Stop.
I can't, I don't even. Man.
As if you guys weren't here for the shock value.
Trail on 83. Okay. No movement.
Yeah. Zay Flowers, though.
Yeah, is the new Rashad Bateman.
Yeah, unstacked Zay Flowers moving up here with the Bateman news. I actually had Bateman on my list of potential upside winners because I do think buying the dip on him was a nice little target there.
Oh, Clay.
What's up?
Mac Hollins was his UNC neighbor.
Are you fucking kidding me? This guy's living an absolute life. Dude,
No way.
honorary Knights of D-Gen member Mac Hollins. The aura of Mac Hollins keeps growing around here. We got our guys. What's our Mount Rushmore of like our guys? We got Mac Hollins for sure. We got Kelly Olynyk for sure. Kelly Olynyk that's a deep dive reference. If you guys got to scroll back in the archives for the Kelly Olynyk.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Yeah. Who else are some of like our guys?
Oh man.
Brady doubles.
Yeah.
Not Brady, just Brady doubles.
Brady doubles.
I mean, your guy is always Trey. I mean, your guys are straight up freaking little like hair on a pot or on a freaking like sucker Trey Young.
Yeah. All 6 hair follicles of Trey.
Well, technically, you have a whole university of guys basically with
good
boys.
UW boys.
Yeah. So
and anyone Canadian that plays baseball, I got that one too.
Yeah.
Like we're always on the Nailer boys.
Like Nailers for sure. I was gonna say I don't know if Kerry Carpenter counts.
Kelly Olynyk looks like an extra from Point Break. That got me. That was good.
That's a good reference.
All
right, let's see this board. We're gonna be the queue. Apologies. We're at 95 here. Big time Tony fall.
Yep.
Still.
We saw I guess it was ship chasing draft, the 34 round draft the other night that I didn't watch all of it, but Pete Gretchen and Crane were doing there. They took Tony. But I can't remember. It was like in the hundreds. Ooh, that
was best 34 round best ball. So I guess it's like stomachable.
We could double down on the Denver stuff with Cortland Sutton. I kind of like it.
Yeah, I'd throw him in the queue and then maybe scroll down just in case there's something else.
Okay.
Penny
Nah,
makes sense.
I like Sutton here.
Okay.
Gives us a nice little double too, just to end up with Russell.
Interesting to see. Maybe it's just because we had tight end and he doesn't think he goes on the end there. But Mike C here. Oh, he's already got the Hawkinson tight end. Well, he did the double stack with Trevor Lawrence. It was interesting to see him pass on Ingram there.
Oh, and Ray's rugged him.
Yeah, and we got rugged on the Penny one too. There goes our stack potential. Antonio Gibson.
Yeah, what do you think about
Jameson Williams?
Or I take a lot of JMO, so I just don't want to like loop you into this.
Sure, either Gibson or JMO.
Okay, I do not take a lot of JMO. I am very lowly exposed on JMO at this point in time. I would like to change that a little bit, just because we know how good that offense could potentially be and how talented he is. I've just been very fearful of the 6 games and whatever. The fact that we haven't seen much from him, the knee last year, limited sample, and then this year, the 6 games. But Mark is heavily invested in Jameson Williams. So that kind of opens my eyes a little bit. And then the fact that you guys like him, or at least Nez likes him.
Yeah, I'm at 15% Jameson Williams. So that's like 11 shares, I believe, and out of my 71. I kind of have to tell myself to not take him as much, just because he's always there, and I can just always spin a narrative of where he fits in my team. It's okay, if I take him and maybe he's my wide receiver 3 or 4, then I'm then I just got to load up on wide receiver after, or maybe I have a lot of wide receivers. I'm okay, well, perfect. Now I can soften the blow of the Jameson Williams hit, which is gonna hurt a little bit. But yeah, man, I'm just a big believer in what this dude can do on the football field. I've never seen someone make Division I football players look as slow and bad as Jameson Williams did on the field. I don't know. Yeah. I'm not really too concerned with anything else other than how he looked when he was playing. Don't really care that he transferred. That stuff doesn't really bother me.
Okay. Fair enough. I respect it. Guys, do us a favor, hit that like, that subscribe, that notification while we're hanging out. We've still had 60 of us hanging out here the whole time. Appreciate you all being here, spending a little time with us on this little fuck around Friday. I'm visualizing right now though, boys. I'm not gonna lie. We're fast approaching this 10th round. That tee time is it's screaming in the back of my ear here at 11:45. I'm thinking about that first tee box right now. I think I'm gonna hit little baby cut 5-iron. That's what I'm thinking about right now. That's what I'm thinking about.
Baby cut. What is it? Dog leg right?
A little bend to it, not crazy bend to it, but a little bit pushes that. But it's a short par 4. It's 320. No, 320. I would just hit driver. So it was 356, I think. So you could play it smart. You can hit 3-wood or hit driver and not get there, and then play wedge in. Or you can just play it as 5-iron.
There are trees in front of the pin?
Yeah. No, there's sand, a little bunker.
Imagine
on the
John
front,
not going for
front.
it and be.
I'm
5-iron off the tee. What happened with
I'm trying
John?
to figure out why you're not just bombing that shit.
I'm changing my strat today, man. I'm changing my strat.
I don't know why I'm
Galaxy braining this like he does weekly winners, man.
Yeah, I'm gal braining T1 right now. What up, Johnny Footballs? Yeah, Neumy2. That's good.
What did I choose?
The pup cup takes. I got one pup cup take. Mix in a live golf player in the last round for moral support, just to boost that clubhouse vibes.
Are they they don't play the first round? Is that what it is?
They're not in this.
They're not in the tournament
playoffs of the PGA Tour. They're not in it.
Yeah.
In that very first one, right? Or in any of it at all?
In any of it. They're not in the tournament. They're not in the playoffs.
Still have ADPs?
They're being drafted multiple, two guys are drafting 2 on a team. You want an edge, it's enter the Pup Cup right now because there's dead rosters all over. You want
good vibes though? You want good vibes. You let Dustin Johnson fall to that last pick, and then you just add him as a fucking alpha flex. Because when you add a live guy,
John,
he's a good locker room guy.
Alpha flex.
Like I'm just gonna eat this 0 because I know my team's so good. That's how you dunk on people in these contests.
There will be a show coming. I know it's not. We haven't jumped on it. It's been a little slacking, but baseball has been a little golf trip itself and doing stuff. So we've just been waiting. The season's kind of winding down. My one thing would just be to continue to fade Justin Thomas as he looks like he's gonna miss the cut again, which is fun. I don't know if you guys know, but just 20 minutes to my east is the tournament right now at the
nice.
3M Open, TPT Twin Cities in Blaine. So.
How much is that to go to that? Like, can you just go there for like $80 for the day and walk around, or
that's what I was. Expensive? I honestly like it was around, so like per day it wasn't too much. Let me look at this 3M tickets here.
I was just guess.
Oh, I have no idea. I really have no idea. Like if I would have looked for Saturday tomorrow, and go look for tickets, because I honestly was wondering like how much it would be just to kind of do that. We're looking at, are we sold out?
Oh wow, yeah, that's a possibility.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's not. I mean, obviously, it's not going to be too much because it's this is smack dab right off the Open. They basically had to find a spot for this in the schedule, and we're up.
I like buying into your Jake McKinnon narrative here. We only have 2 running backs. It correlates nicely with Jamar Chase. What do you guys think?
Yeah, we need some green.
Yeah, let's do it.
I like it.
Yeah, I like that one. And then next one's interesting here. I know Nez's eyes always just go to Khalil Herbert and Elijah Mitchell. He can't turn them off. But seeing as though you have pink eye in one eye, pretend you can't see those two. And whom are you selecting here? We could do Greg Dolch sets up a double with Russ. We could just go ahead and take Russ now. We could take Jared Goff and stack with Jameson Williams.
I think Jacoby Myers or Greg Dulcich, if we're not going to do Herbert.
All right.
Oh, okay. I have not been. Oh, no, I have been taking Jacoby. For some reason, I just immediately thought Jacoby Myers was Hunter Renfrow.
No, he's the new Hunter Renfrow.
I know he is. That's what I was. My brain. I was for some reason my brain just shut off, and I'm like Hunter Renfrow, and I'm like, wait, no, he did not just say Hunter Renfrow. He said Jacoby Myers, but I'm like, it's a 1-for-1 replacement there.
Okay, hold on. So Clay went to b-ball camp in high school with Aaron Jones and his twin Alvin.
I didn't know he had a twin.
Guys online. I didn't know he had a twin. That broke my brain right there. That's sick.
Are they identical?
How shitty would it be? How shitty would it be to have a twin, and then one's in the league and the other is like just not? like that sucks. Like because like the Canucks had twins for years, right? Like they had the Sedin brothers that were like 2 of the best players in the NHL for a long time, and they traded up and they took them together and kept them on the same team, and they're legends around here, right? But
Alvin's in the league.
Made it.
Alvin was a linebacker apparently for the. In
for the
2020,
Packers,
he
got a
linebacker
sympathy
for the
invite?
Ravens. No.
Oh, okay. All right.
They don't appear to be identical.
No, they don't.
Apparently, I don't know ball.
I never. American. He's currently a free agent. Story. Oh, John. He also played for the Saskatchewan Roughriders, the Canadian Football League.
Are you kidding me? I'm an Alvin Jones guy. I'm a fucking Alvin Jones guy.
18th round, Alvin Jones. Who's that?
What do you guys think about this?
Okay.
And rest in peace to their father. They were twins.
Mm-hmm.
Alvin is named after the father, so he's Alvin Jones Jr. But like your twin brother is not. Isn't that like kind of like a little funny? Like your twins.
Okay. Had I had that information early in life, I would have bet Aaron to be more successful than Alvin
because he earned the love of his dad.
Earning the love of his dad. Like you didn't give me the name. Like I'm working my ass off to be like, dad. Like look at me. Yeah, you should have named me Alvin.
I just love the way your brain works. I just fucking love the way your brain works, man.
Oh, this analysis anywhere else, man.
You literally make my freaking like. I just get. Oh god.
That's funny.
Gut laughs, brother. Gut laughs.
Thank you. Dalton Kincaid, little shout out to Chess Liam on the randomizer last night. Pretty funny stuff.
Oh man.
Liam had some good stuff going on there. And Dalton Kincaid went 101 in that draft as a tribute to him. So respect that. Can't get on board with the 51%. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little worried with my Dalton Kincaid shares right now, seeing that Liam's so in on it. It makes me think.
Man, and he just runs so good that it's gonna hit. Like it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. That was a really good episode of the randomizer. If you haven't
The
seen
start of that was incredible. The immediately have to get in a hot tub and then come back.
Yeah.
And then come back and do chess, and the guy just wouldn't lose. Oh my goodness, that was great.
Oh I was surprised it hit so soon. That was my prompt. I was so.
Oh really?
I was so pumped for that. Yeah.
Nez is just sitting there. Literally Leo meme just pointing at the screen.
That's my prompt.
Look, honey, it's my prompt.
That's good. Hey, this is one. You know how like you go to Subway in the States and they're like, what kind of cheese you want? And they're like, you want American? Like they call it like American, like that white cheese.
It is American.
It's fucking cheese, bud. Like, but you know how like you guys like you take ownership of these like little things, fucking right? Cheese, Canadian bacon in the States is like not Canadian bacon. Like, you know how like there's like the two separate things where like you get the strips, or like Canadian bacon in the States is kind of like the fatter cuts ham, or whatever. Yeah, it's like ham, whatever. That's not a thing. That's just like not a thing. It's like,
do you have Canadian bacon in Canada? Do they sell it? Is it popular?
Like, no, because that's not a thing. Like Canadian bacon is just bacon. Like it's just cut the same way as everybody else, like the strips. Like it was just like some smart guy in the States was like, how do we monetize bacon to make it sound cool and market this? Well, let's market it as Canadian bacon, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. It's you gotta love advertising.
Yeah, it's spot on.
But there's there's a big difference in cheeses, by the way.
I will say, and I love a little Canadian bacon on my pizza, so I will just say that.
Oh, that's sad that Jefferson. Oh, he didn't get auto picked right there.
I thought he was going to be.
I like Jefferson here. A lot of positive reports for him. We kind of like the Rams offense just in general. I think we might be able to shut it down at wide receiver if we take Jefferson here.
Yeah, Jefferson would be, I think, that would be me tying a bow on wide receiver.
Yeah. I mean, maybe there's room for one more. Depends if we do 2 or 3 tight ends.
Yeah, I think if we take a tight end here, we can probably cap it at 2 tight ends and then do like a 2-7-7-2, because we are not thin at running back, but I think we do need a little bit of depth there.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the first ever appearance of John's significant other? All of a sudden, I just saw a foot in the corner over there.
Oh, yeah.
First time ever, it wasn't Mr. Goodboy back there. I was like, that's not a Mr. Goodboy. But
she's trying to coerce Mr. Goodboy from out under the thing here.
I was going to say Everett, but he's gone. Kendre? Or no?
Yeah.
Are you scared of Kendre?
Yeah, no, I'm fine with it.
I really wish Stafford's price was still suppressed, so then you could maybe get the Higbee, and then I bet the top drafter's going to take. Yeah,
we have 2 week 10 buys. That is the only. It would have been the only.
Oh, good check. Yeah, see, yep. Good job, Nezzy. Good job. That's why you're here, Nez.
And do enough of these damn things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see this comment about like going 7 with Jameson being shaky, and like
good point.
And I agree. Like, sure, and like just that statement is true. Going 7 with Jameson is shaky, but like the capital that we put into the wide receivers, like at a certain point, you need to like make your bet and ride it. In my opinion, like Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, Mike Williams, Courtland Sutton in the first 4, like. I don't know, man. Like we made some pretty decent bets. I don't think it's just done enough in our circle. I think everybody just like one player too many. I think in most people's that watch best ball streams. In my opinion, I mean, at least that's what I took. My takeaways were from BBM 1 or BBM 2 and 3.
Yeah.
With my content consumption was just like chop off one of those wide receivers that I think I need, because you don't.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. I mean, the counterpoint is like, where are you spending that capital and what other zero does it become? Right.
Yeah. I think ideally it's tight end. If there's like the tight end value there, running backs, I think is more like wish casting. If you want to use a last round pick on a running back, just because you see it like just with the Jets as an example, where it's Hall, Michael Carter, and Izzy there, and they still want to bring in another running back. Like, we paint these rosy pictures in our head, and I mean, you can say the same thing about Isaiah Spiller. I don't want to like not acknowledge or ignore that. Like, we have these rosy pictures of like the contingency value of these handcuff running backs, when the fact of the matter is that like these teams like do not want these young running backs really like out there. Is more or less what we see a lot of the time. It's like scrambling for any vet to get out there for whatever reason. It's say what you will about why that is, but they don't want to pay these guys. But when push comes to shove, and they need a veteran out there, they will opt for the veteran.
Right. Yeah. No, for sure.
Just the history of how the running back position has been handled.
That's a good point.
That number 11 team has an interesting thing going on. How did they recover after the JSN pick?
Fields, little 6th-round Kittle, man. That fucking 6th-round Kittle just feels like such a smash.
I'm not as high on Kittle as everybody else.
No,
I'm not. I have volume concerns.
The way the rest of this team looks, like maybe JSN was just kind of like I
think it's an auto
cue. Yeah,
because everything else is normal and fine.
Yeah. Mr. Goodboy's got to go to the vet right now, and Nikki's home to take him or whatever, but he's hiding in here, or he was hiding in here, and he doesn't want to leave like without me when he can still like see me or whatever. So she was like trying to like quietly get him out of like there and into the back and like whatever, and like he's just dragging on the floor. So I kept like muting the mic, and then I was like, yo, I'll come give him a boost or something. And then eventually I just heard like a door slam, and I was like, oh, they're good.
They're gone. Poor buddy doesn't want to leave without his dad.
Yeah.
Is everything all right? I hope it's just like a little checkup.
Oh yeah, he's just like getting like some shot whatever things that I said he didn't need, and she's like, no, we need him, blah blah blah, to get like the paperwork. Okay, whatever, he'll be fine. Like kennel cough, re-up, and like stuff like this. Like the guy's already had kennel cough. He defeated it once. Mr. Goodboy, he's immune for life.
I thought he used to get it every time, like almost every time he went to like doggy daycare. It was insane. I'm like, what kind of ship are we running over there where my dog's coming back with like a sailor's cough every time?
Yeah, it's dog COVID.
Yeah, seriously, it's just like it's every time. Like, I'm sick of this.
Yeah, flu season. Clay saying one of the best icebreaker questions you could ask someone is for them to pick one type of cheese to eat for the rest of their life. Wow. Says something about a person.
Pepper jack.
It's a great question.
Pepper jack?
Okay.
I'm a pepper jack guy.
Yeah.
I like spice. So get a little spice into that.
Kick to it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you could say the same about like a little jalapeno cheddar or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, now you're speaking my language.
This is gonna ruffle some feathers.
Okay.
Yellow American.
Yellow American. Do you?
Yeah. I'm gonna step away just for a second on that one.
Cheddar cheese?
No, it is not cheddar.
John,
it is
the stuff that you get at like a school lunch that they just throw on your freaking like
Kraft
cardboard.
singles.
Yeah,
are you talking about Kraft singles?
Yes, sir.
You're talking about a cheese product like Cheese Whiz that's not even actually cheese.
I hate Cheese Whiz. Hate Cheese Whiz.
Knew he was gonna say American.
Dude, I grew up picky as hell. I've come along with my diet.
Okay.
I grew up mad picky. Like, for example, I would go in kindergarten. I would go be sent to kindergarten with like a Tupperware container of like Fruity Pebbles and like a quarter, and they'd be like, go get some milk and like have cereal for lunch. Cause I was just like so picky. My parents were like, screw this kid. Like if he's not gonna eat what we want to cook him, like he's gonna eat cereal, and if he dies, he dies. Like it's fine.
Right. Yeah. He's gonna fend for himself. We could do Stafford here and just eat the week 10 bye weeks and be like,
I don't know. Dan Zach has me bye week pilled. I would rather do Deontay Foreman. I think Deontay Foreman is like arbitrage Khalil Herbert.
Arbitrage Khalil Herbert. Okay.
Just from like a rushing standpoint, like Foreman's probably gonna be a goal line back potentially. I don't know.
Right. So what are we doing at quarterback to round this thing out, and what are we doing at tight end? Because there's gonna be like some backstack potential here.
Yeah, I think we can freely scroll down a little bit if we would like.
Yeah, for sure.
So we have 4 more picks. Like Young and Hurst is always really easy to do.
Yeah.
I mean, the Stafford fall is kind of crazy.
Holy, Stafford fell?
Yeah, but like the thing is, it's so bad for our team. But I'm kind of down. I'm kind of down.
Yeah. You want to figure it out later? Take Stafford, and we'll see what happens.
I kind of want to just play this as 2 QBs and punt week 10. I don't know. Maybe that's awful. Maybe we do maybe we add a third quarterback, because not a ton of people will add a third quarterback to Hurts and Staff. Well, I guess everybody will because of the bye week. I don't know. It's an interesting little one there.
Yeah, I think a couple months ago I would have been like, yeah, let's do it and screw the bye week. Yeah, thank you, GA. Lest we forget.
I come back and our entire chat is just cheese related.
It's cheese talk. Yeah, man. Look at this. Men of class here with triple cream brie.
My
cream
lactose
cheese
intolerant
being the
self
answer.
is already struggling.
Yeah. Mozzarella. These guys love their pizzas. Man, I would do something boring like marble cheese. Like, give me that little mixed blend.
Gouda? The smoked Gouda?
No. That's too niche for last cheese of your life. I would do that marble, just that little marble cheese of like the white and orange together, man. The white and orange cheese together. You can use it on pizza if need be. If you just need a little, marble cheese, man.
If I go to the deli and ask for marble cheese, they're going to be like, you got to be more specific.
Jeez. You guys live in a foreign
Colby
nation.
Jack marble cheese. Are Colby Jack and marble cheese the same? Marble also referred as Colby Jack.
Okay.
Colby Jack. Let's call it Colby Jack. There you go.
It
Colby
is a
Jack.
mild blend of Colby and Monterey Jack.
There you go.
My fiance just came running out and has just looked at me with the weirdest face and is just laughing. She's like, "What are you?
What are you guys doing?
No, what has happened? You're talking about football, now you're talking about cheese."
We contain multitudes over here, you guys.
Yeah, we got fucking layers, buddy.
Don't get me started on my food takes. I got plenty.
I was listening to you. You said you're the most picky
I was. Yeah, at one point it was pretty severe. But I've grown a long way since then.
I was never like, I'll eat almost anything and I'll try almost anything like once, and then once I determine I don't like it, I'm kind of out. I got a couple things that I just like don't like. Like I just don't like pickles, onions, mustard, and canned tuna. Those are my 3. Like those are my 4. And anything else on the planet, I'll eat. Like
I'm all 4 of those things, but only red onion. Like every other onion, like I've grown into, but red onion. Oh yeah,
sure.
Fuck red onions, dude. It's overpowering. It's like it's all you can taste if it's on something.
I'm not a huge fan of just like raw onion in general there, but like. That being said, if there's like salsa or I'm having tacos or I'm like whatever, I'll just bite the bullet and eat it. I don't really care.
Oh man, no! If I get a red onion on something, I'm elbowing my wife. I'm like, can you tell the waiter that they put red onion on my burger, please? Excuse me, he asked for no red onion. She doesn't sound like that. I don't know why I did that.
That's exactly what she sounds like.
You can follow her and find out for yourself.
Yeah,
is that how you sound? Why are you making voices for yourself?
That was a promo voice. That was my promo voice.
Oh,
Yeah, I am putting an end to this right now.
Oh boy.
Oh God.
Oh, he's got marble cheese in his fridge, and it's gonna be labeled as such.
Ben's comment right here. Oh, the BadgeBros are a power trio where each time I try and pick a favorite,
Yeah.
I always
Cheddar, marble cheddar. That is a thing.
Yeah, it's literally it's a Colby Jack, brother. Congratulations. Canada makes a fancy word for Colby Jack. Oh my goodness. Okay, Ben coming out here and just the fact that this is the first
stealing Newmy's heart.
Literally my absolute favorite rappers, rap group. I love them. Fun fact, went to see them at Red Rocks as Beast Coast, where they also had the underachievers, Joey, Kirk Knight, I forget. There's others, and it was absolutely electric. So you just stole my heart there.
I have no idea what a Flatbush zombie is, and that's the least.
You're the most
uncultured.
Is King Kunta the best song by Kendrick ever? And tell me, like, no, it's great. You're the most mainstream rap, like,
Oh man, dude, when he puts on a little backwards LA cap.
Like, don't get me wrong, it's a
dude. I've seen Kendrick twice, man. I know a little thing or two about rap.
He's got better stuff.
Oh, I can't.
Boys.
I can't.
Honestly, right now, there's only one thing that I gotta say to you guys. I got a bone to pick. You guys.
Do you have? Oh, okay. Hold on. We'll continue this.
Oh shit, we're on the clock.
Three more clicks.
We're falling off the rails here, Lenny.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
I don't see how you don't just keep clicking Lenny's name in this range. Like,
we don't have Chip. Taking Lenny feels so good when you don't have
round pick.
Well,
I also like CPAT too.
Jesus Christ.
Taking Lenny feels so good when you don't have Chip in the chat telling you to stop taking him. Wherever he is.
Yeah,
he's truant today.
Yeah, I will say there, Ben. I've seen him. I've seen Joey 5 times. 5 times.
Wow,
he's my Joey Badass. He is my number one favorite artist. He is electric. I saw him open for Schoolboy Q. That was the first
cool.
Yeah, and that was electric.
You don't get.
And he came to
anymore.
Duluth, Minnesota. Came to Duluth for their just school thing. Oh, it was electric. All electric. Just great stuff. Love rap concerts.
Tyler Conklin?
Oh,
question mark?
Yes.
I mean, according to Hayden, he projects better than everybody in this range in raw points, period. Not just as far as tight ends go.
Okay.
Smart guy over there.
Yeah, I got rap on my mind, so sure. I can't really concentrate at this point.
You sold me on a Hayden pick.
Yeah, if Hayden likes him, we'll take him. I will say, I like him and Juwan Johnson equally, but Juwan Johnson fall there is pretty extreme just because Jimmy Graham signed. I know that hurts, right? You can't acknowledge that's obviously not good for Juwan Johnson, right? But
yeah,
look back and that could be a little silly that this guy that just had a great season, or a good season, let's say, now all of a sudden goes behind Michael Mayer because the skeleton of Jimmy Graham signed there.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know.
Okay, we got to talk about rap music a little bit more here. Rap concerts are by far the worst concerts. Just in terms of
strictly untrue.
Small venue rap concert, so dope. So
I will agree.
Arena rap concert, awful.
Well, that's a totally different take from just rap concerts in general, but I agree. I agree with your take there. I agree with your take.
I'm I'm not trying to one up it, and I'm very much a rap guy. Very much into my rap music. Been heavy into it since.
Okay,
I was
if you come out here and say Lizzo, I'm gone. If you say Lizzo, I'm gone.
I'm just setting the table. I'm just setting the table. All right,
the table's been set. The fork and knife is down. Give us the meat and potatoes.
The cheese is on the plate.
There's an epidemic.
There.
There's an epidemic in bad performances in rap shows. It's an epidemic. Too many rappers. If I go to a concert and there's no backtrack, I am on cloud 9. I'm like, I cannot believe I finally saw a rapper that doesn't have the song that he's fucking performing playing over the speakers. That happens more often than not. And maybe there's been a shift where like rappers are starting to have respect for themselves and they are no longer doing that. But like even somebody like as non-lyrical as Playboy Cardi, I saw him in like 2019 or 2018. He was rapping his songs. He was an excellent performer. And then I saw him years later, and he said like 3 words the entire show. It was really strange.
I agree.
The more famous they get, the more hype guy jumping around with the towel on the side of the stage.
It was more like a performance, right? Like he was like, you know, he had there's a vibe to Playboy Cardi.
So
you know?
I agree with that. I totally 100% agree with that. Because when I saw J. Cole and it was at the XL Center, which is where the Wild play, or XL Energy, it was like meh. Like you didn't really feel it there. But I've seen a bunch in Denver, and I saw Chance the Rapper before he got like really, really big. And he had an actual band on stage. So it was the band playing. And it's electric. And Flatbush does the same thing where it's not the track over. They're actually rapping it. Like they'll stop and they'll just go straight up like acoustic. Nothing's going on. And they're just rapping the verse. And it's just, the beats going. Yeah, I will agree those takes that it's 100% because nowadays it's like I saw Post Malone. Good, but it was literally the track was playing the entire time in the.
And
back.
he's a singer, like he's supposed to.
Like he's good on the acoustic guitar, yeah.
So yeah, like honestly, funny enough, like Post started as a country artist, and his stuff. He's just got an amazing voice, but no, I agree with that. When it's a small venue and they don't have the backtrack going, it's 100% a different vibe because when you get in there and it's just like Mac Miller's when he started to get. You know, on his drugs and everything and all that, it was bad. Like some of his concerts, he was so effed up. He wasn't even like, it was just barely rapping. He was doing the wrong stuff. So yeah, I agree with those takes. But if you get to a good one and an artist that you like respect and they're good, then it's a totally different vibe.
Yeah. Kendrick was amazing for stadium shows, and like Travis Scott opened for him and was terrible. And then Future was terrible for stadium show, but was super fun for small venue that I've seen. I've seen
like I went to I've seen like this is gonna be he's Russ, if you've got heard of him. He's he put on a great show as well where it was just strictly no backtrack as well.
No backtrack. But this is kind of an evergreen conversation because it applies to like pop stars and stuff too, where it's like if you go to a concert and they're just like playing the song back to you and then they're just like singing like every like third verse or every whatever, it doesn't like hit home for me. It doesn't resonate as hard. I think that's why like the concerts that I like are like, oh, back on the clock here. We could do Jimmy G stacks with Jacoby as like a third quarterback, put the condom on it. We could do, I think that's the leader in the clubhouse.
That'd be my pick.
We could do Puka and like backstack Rams. We could put Spiller on this team.
They're going to give it to you? Oh, no. No way.
Let's go.
I don't believe it. You didn't
think we were going to get Spiller on your GA?
Slow ass Canadian internet that just wouldn't update fast enough.
GA, you didn't think we were going to get Spiller on this team, baby?
Holy shit, dude. Oh my God, we did it. Wow.
Oh, that's tight.
Yo, this team
Austin
is dirty.
City Limits Festival is sweet. This team's dirty.
Oh my God. Just absolutely saved the team, dude. Well, you are now the third team to ever draft Isaiah Spiller because I have the other two shares.
Oh man, that's good. This would be a good one. All the highlights of Ed Sheeran going around right now. Like I'm not a huge Ed Sheeran guy, but the highlights going around are like insane. Like he brought out Eminem in Detroit there and was playing acoustic while Eminem was playing Lose Yourself, and so cool.
He gets respect. Ed Sheeran does around the industry. Yeah. Congrats. Cash those slips.
No, they're called entries, bud.
Oh yeah. Oops.
All right, let's hit the wrap it up, Bucks. Fun show. We kind of went off the rails. Fun exercise though. I did like the exercise of like even if it's not like actionable to like do the little draft that we did, but just to think through the fact that like, hey, these guys could be like league winners in succession. Let's, that's what our thought process is.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna
good
be
to
so
think
late
about.
for this. I'm gonna be so late for this fucking tea time here. I'll recap this team. 2-7-7-2, kind of thin with Jameson Williams in the wide receiver corp, as alluded to earlier, and double quarterbacks with the same bye. So super thin, but hey, wouldn't be a John-led draft if it wasn't threading 19 unnecessary needles to become unique.
Way to say it.
2-7-7-2, Jalen Hurts, Matthew Stafford, Ken Walker, Javonte Williams, Jerick McKinnon, Kendre Miller, Foreman, Fournette, Spiller.
That's such a killer pick.
Not CJ Spiller, Isaiah Spiller. Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, Mike Williams, Cortland Sutton, Jameson Williams, Jacoby Myers, Van Jefferson, Dallas Goedert, Tyler Conklin. I'm not going to fucking lie. I like this team. I actually like it.
I love this team. I love this team. I mean, why not take a little lottery? Live a little.
God.
Give yourself a lottery.
We're trying to win a 677,000 person contest. Live a little. That's how you do it. Oh man, that's good. Yeah, Kanye was fun. That tour where he was on like the floating platform. I didn't think I was going to like Kanye. Like I'm not a huge Kanye guy. And I went to that concert and I listened to like Life of Pablo at the gym for the next like year. Like honest to God, like
I was upset I missed that tour, but that's like one of my favorite albums by Kanye. All right.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Like
the old Kanye.
Yeah, the old Kanye, right?
I will say that might be the worst Kanye album.
Life of Pablo?
Life of Pablo is so bad.
That's just not true.
I like it. Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
There's Ultralight Beam is the only good one because Chance is on there, man.
John, please hit the outro before I throw
up. We gotta get out of here. Neumy's flooding.
If you just said Life of Pablo is the best Kanye album,
it was the best one. Did he say it was the best one? We just said we liked it.
He did.
I liked that album a lot. It's the best album.
Neumy, why is that album not good?
Because the critics told
me.